Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button right now.
Broncos Country, you need to sit down for this one. Because buried in Denver's 2026 rookie class is a running back who might just be the missing piece that turns this team from a playoff contender into a legitimate Super Bowl threat, and almost nobody is talking about him the way they should be. 7 names, 7 rookies, and only one of them is walking into Dove Valley with the kind of game-changing, win-you football games potential that franchises dream about. Stick around, because we are counting them all down, from the guy who might not sniff the field this year to the rookie who could be cashing in a playoff MVP trophy before his second season even starts. Before we dive into the chaos, do us a favor. If you love Broncos content, if you want the inside scoop on every single roster battle heating up before training camp, hit that like button right now and make sure you are subscribed to Broncos. We are just getting started with training camp coverage, and trust us, you do not want to miss a single update this summer. All right, Broncos Country, let's get into it. Denver's front office walked out of the 2026 NFL Draft with 7 picks. No first rounder, no second rounder. George Patone traded that capital away to go get Jalen Waddle from Miami, a swing that already has Broncos Country buzzing about the offense. But that means this rookie class had to be efficient, had to be surgical, had to find value in the middle and late rounds. And by most accounts around the league, they did exactly that. So today, we are not doing a power ranking. We are not saying one rookie is simply better than another. What we are doing is ranking these 7 rookies by projected impact in year 1, who is actually going to see the field, who is going to be buried on the depth chart, and who is going to be difference makers when the lights come on in September. Let's start at the bottom, because even at number 7, this is not a knock on talent. Coming in at number 7 is offensive lineman KJ Casey, Denver's 4th-round selection out of Boise State. Here is the brutal truth. Broncos Country. This Denver offensive line was just graded as the number 1 unit in the entire NFL. Garrett Bowles, Ben Powers, Quinn Miners, Alex Forsyth, or whoever is anchoring the interior, Mike McGlinchey, that starting 5 is not just good, it is elite. And none of those jobs are up for grabs barring a catastrophic injury. So KJ Casey is walking into a room where he is going to sit, watch, and learn from professionals who have already proven they can dominate at the highest level. And look, that is not a bad thing for his development. This is a 2-time first-team All-Mountain West honoree who led Boise State in total snaps over each of the last 2 seasons. His pressure rate allowed last season was reportedly among the best of any left tackle in his conference, and by some measures the best. That is not the profile of a bust. That is the profile of a classic draft and stash prospect. A guy the coaching staff is going to develop behind the scenes because he has the athletic tools to play multiple spots on the line, tackle, guard, maybe even a look at center down the road. But unless disaster strikes up front, do not expect to see KJ Casey on the field much in 2026. This is a redshirt-style rookie year, and that is by design. Number 6 on our list is tight end Justin Jalie, Denver's selection out of NC State. Here is a bold prediction for you, Broncos Country. Justin Jalie might be the long-term heir apparent at tight end once Evan Engram's time in Denver eventually winds down. But that is a story for a future season, not this one. Right now, Engram is the unquestioned starter. He has the experience, the chemistry with the quarterback, and frankly, he is still playing at a high level. Jalie is going to carve out a role, but it is going to be a specialty package, the kind of red zone weapon or 5-wide look that Sean Payton pulls out when he wants to create a mismatch. And speaking of mismatches, get this. According to analysts at Pro Football Network, the 2 Denver tight ends in this draft class, Justin Jalie and the man we are ranking right behind him, were considered to have some of the most reliable hands of any tight ends in the entire 2026 draft class, mentioned in the same breath as names like Kenyon Sadiq and Elijah Surratt. That tells you everything about how this coaching staff wanted to build out that position. Jolie's game is built around the top of his route. His separation once he sinks his hips and creates space downfield is special, even if his release off the line still needs polish. He is a nightmare in contested catch situations, reportedly finishing with an incredibly low drop rate last season, and he has got the versatility to line up with his hand in the dirt or flexed into the slot. Denver clearly loves what he brings. They are just going to bring him along carefully. Number 5 belongs to the other half of that elite tight end duo, Dallin Bentley, out of Utah. Broncos Country, you saw this one coming from a mile away, because Jalie and Bentley are basically running mates in this class. But Bentley edges ahead here because his skill set as an inline. Wide tight end blocker means he is going to see the field more often in base personnel packages. This is a prospect who blew up in his final season at Utah, carried that momentum into the Shrine Bowl where he was one of the standout performers on the entire roster, and turned himself into a Day 3 draft pick with real juice. He tested off the charts athletically. We are talking elite relative athletic score territory, and evaluators love how fluidly he can play both inline and detached from the formation. Between Jalie and Bentley combined, reports suggest they had almost no drops between them across their entire final college seasons. That is remarkable consistency for two rookies. Expect Bentley to see snaps in heavier personnel groupings, 12 or 13 personnel packages near the goal line more often than Jalie, simply because of how naturally he fits as an inline blocker who can also threaten defenses as a receiver. He might not put up gaudy numbers in year one, but he is going to be a trusted piece of this offense far sooner than people expect. Now we shift to the defensive side of the football for number 4, safety Miles Scott out of Illinois. Broncos Country, think of Scott as this year's version of the depth chart safety insurance policy Denver had last season. He is stepping into a backup safety role behind starters Talanoa Hufanga and Brandon Jones, and if last season taught us anything, it is that injuries at that position can open the door fast. Denver's backup safety logged well over 150 total snaps a season ago after an injury to one of the starters. Scott has the pedigree to seize that same opportunity. He was a former wide receiver who converted to safety, which means he sees routes develop before they happen. And that kind of instinctive processing is exactly what you want from a ball-hawking defensive back. Last season at Illinois, Scott reportedly racked up 64 tackles, 4 pass breakups, and 3 interceptions while earning strong marks as a team captain who had that Illinois defense humming. Is he a finished product? No, he is still raw in coverage technique. But the tools and the football IQ are undeniable. Expect him to carve out a handful of snaps per game, mixing in on special teams while waiting for his shot in the rotation, and do not be shocked if he comes up with a takeaway or two along the way. Number 3 takes us to the trenches with defensive tackle Tyler Onetum, Denver's third-round selection and notably the earliest pick in this entire rookie class after the Broncos moved off their first 2 selections in the Waddle trade. Onetum is walking into a genuinely stacked defensive tackle room. Zach Allen, DJ Jones, Malcolm Roach, and a handful of others are all going to be rotating through that front, and the coaching staff, led by defensive-minded voices throughout that building, is clearly trying to figure out who takes the next step as the season unfolds. Onetum's calling card is versatility. He has the athletic profile to play anywhere from a 1 technique to a 5 technique along that line. And his tape shows a player who can genuinely stop the run at an elite level, reportedly posting one of the best tackle for loss rates among interior defenders in his class. Do not expect him to walk in and start immediately with that kind of depth in front of him, but expect him to rotate in consistently. Get run-stopping snaps behind Jones at the nose and behind Allen and Roach on the edge of the interior, and steadily build his role as the season progresses. This defense finished as one of the best units in the entire NFL a season ago. and adding size and versatility up front only makes that group scarier. Number 2 on our impact rankings is a name Broncos Country should get very familiar with, linebacker Murdoch. And this is where the story gets fun, because Murdoch was not just any 7th-round pick, he was Mr. Irrelevant, the very last selection of the entire 2026 NFL Draft out of the University of Buffalo. Do not let that title fool you for a second. This is one of the most productive tacklers to come out of college football in years. Murdoch holds the NCAA record for career forced fumbles, an absolutely absurd number of turnovers created through sheer physicality and instinct. He plays with an old-school downhill mentality, the kind of linebacker who wants to meet you in the hole and find out who wants it more. He is a plus striker with his hands, he wins leverage battles at the point of contact, and he has an uncanny knack for prying the ball loose from ball carriers. Is he a finished product? Not even close. His closing speed in space needs real work, and his recovery ability when he gets beat on play action or in coverage is still a work in progress. But the physical tools and the football character are undeniable, and Denver's depth behind starters Alex Singleton and Justin Sternad is not exactly overflowing with proven talent. Do not be shocked if by mid-season, Murdoch is already working his way into meaningful rotational snaps, pushing for real playing time alongside Singleton and Sternad. Special teams will be his floor. A real role on defense before the year is out is entirely possible. And that brings us, Broncos Country, to the number 1 rookie on this entire list, the player with the single highest projected impact for the Denver Broncos in 2026, running back Jonah Coleman out of Washington. Who else could it have been? Coleman is exactly the kind of back who makes his money after first contact. His vision is advanced beyond his experience level. His feet are quick and decisive, and his ability to bounce runs off blown blocks and still generate positive yardage is elite. The numbers back it up in dramatic fashion. He reportedly finished with the highest rate in his draft class of runs that resulted in either a first down or a touchdown. He led his class in the percentage of rushing yards gained after contact. He led his class in yards after the catch on receptions out of the backfield. And on top of all of that, he combined that explosive production with remarkable ball security, an extremely low fumble rate across his college career, minimal drops, and legitimate pass protection ability that already has the coaching staff trusting him on passing downs. That combination of power, vision, and reliability is exactly why evaluators have compared his skill set to a young J.K. Dobbins, fitting. Considering Dobbins is currently the veteran starter, Coleman is expected to learn behind and eventually push. Denver clearly did not draft Coleman just to stash him on the bench. They drafted him to develop him quickly into a legitimate weapon in that backfield. The other rookies on this list might see rotational snaps. They might contribute on special teams. Murdoch might even fight his way into a starting role by mid-season. But Jonah Coleman has the kind of game-breaking, contact-shedding ability that does not just show up on the stat sheet. It shows up on the scoreboard. This is a running back who can flip field position, extend drives, and steal games that Denver has no business winning. That is the difference between simply contributing and actually swinging outcomes, and that is exactly why Jonah Coleman sits at number 1. So there it is, Broncos Country, the complete 2026 Denver Broncos rookie impact rankings. From the developmental lineman who may redshirt his entire first year to the running back who could be the X factor in a genuine playoff run. This is a rookie class built not on splashy first-round names, but on value, versatility, and depth, exactly the kind of quiet, calculated approach that championship-caliber front offices lean on when they have already invested elsewhere. Training camp is right around the corner, and every single one of these names is going to be tested in live reps against Denver's veterans. Roles are going to shift, depth charts are going to get shaken up, and this list might look completely different by the time Week 1 rolls around. That is exactly why you need to stay locked in with us. If this breakdown gave you a better read on Denver's rookie class, smash that like button. Drop a comment down below telling us which rookie you think is going to surprise everyone this season. And if you are not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now. We are bringing you daily training camp coverage, roster battle updates, and every twist and turn of the Denver Broncos season all summer long. Broncos Country, we will see you in the next one. Until then, this has been Brinkos. Stay locked in.